Hi. Went out for a walk today and I was looking at something on my phone. I've had this app called Skyview Light. Most of you probably have it. You know, that's a little purple one there on the side. It's free from Apple, so that's what I go with. But the interesting thing is sometimes you can find where things are in the sky, which is kind of cool. You know, if you don't want to know where the moon is, if you want to see the International Space Station, you know, find out where things are. And I had that out today, just kind of playing with it, and I noticed something interesting and I'm not sure what it means. Here we are, today is the 26th of March, and we're getting close to this eclipse, and everybody's talking about the eclipse and all the prophecies and all this kind of stuff. We'll find out. I mean, it might be a great big nothing burger. You know, it may become something. We don't know. There's a lot of speculation going on about what this is about. But I saw some interesting things on here. And it may be a nothing burger too. It may be something that, well, every year this happens. You just never noticed it before. Possible. But what if there's something special going on in the heavens? Remember that God has established the heavens for signs and wonders. We kind of throw it all away because the heavens were hijacked by the astrologers on what does it mean to us and what is our personality and divination and all of this. And we Christians kind of just pushed it aside and said, okay, we're not going to have anything to do with that. But the ancient man and the Christians knew, you know, the astronomy, not the astrology, the astronomy. In fact, there's an idea that when Daniel had taught the Magi, and for years they kind of watched, when I say astronomy, they watched the astronomy, and the astronomy told them of the coming of the Christ, and the Magi started moving. And of course, we had this supernatural star, of course, that came in and was over the house where Jesus was born. So that's a different thing. So, but I'm talking about the fact that there's nothing harmful in astronomy. And I'm going to have a hard time saying that carefully. Astronomy. What these signs means, we understand the secular astronomy, Aries, Taurus, Capricorn, you know, all of these, Pisces. We don't really know the Hebrew Mazareth. The Hebrews also had a name for these. We don't know them. There is some very good videos on the Mazareth if you wanted to look at it. Chuck Missler does a great one on the signs of the Mazareth. Now, these are not to be foretelling in the sense of astrology. You know, you're not trying to use them for divination. They're just for signs. They're showing you things about what's going on. They could be small harbingers. That's what signs and seasons are for. When you go down the road, if you see a sign that says turn left, turn right, slow down, you know, bridge out. We're supposed to see signs, but we're not supposed to use them for personal divination of what's my life about, who do I marry, do I buy this car, all this kind of stuff. So, my thing is I wanted to look at this today and show you some things that I saw, like I said. So I turned this on, and I turned on the sky view, and I started looking about where things were in the heavens. And I'll try to line this up, and I saw some interesting things. First of all, I'm facing, that's the east. Sun's coming up in the east, so I'm showing you where things are. And I'm trying to move this. And so here is, of course, we're finding out this is right under the ram is Jupiter. And Jupiter is on an apogee. Once again, we deal with two things, apogee and perigee. Apogee is where you're moving this way. Perigee is where you're moving like right around this way. So this is apogee, this is perigee from a central point. Also, we think about on Earth, we're actually on a ball, of course, and we're kind of lean to the side, but gravity holds us to the side. And if we're moving east to west, that means we're moving counterclockwise. We're always moving to the sun. The sun's coming to us. We look like we're coming to it. And then we move away, so we're moving counterclockwise, and we're moving counterclockwise around the sun. Okay, that's fine. That's what we know. So here we had, it's interesting. See if I can find some of this again. We have Jupiter is right there, almost in the center of Aries. Aries has often been a god of beginnings. Not a god of beginnings, a sign of beginnings, a sign of like spring. So interesting that you have Jupiter right there. But interesting how also there is Venus. Venus is also on an apogee away from us, which shows it's on the other side of the sun, and it's in Pisces. And here is our sun in Pisces, or almost in Pisces. Pisces, of course, if you know it from the Bible, Pisces, it represents humanity. It used to say it was Christianity. We had that in the early Christian church. But basically, remember, Jesus said that, in the end times and stuff, it would be like taking out a net and pulling in the fish and separating the good from the bad. He uses fish a lot in that kind of figurativism. So we see that represents humanity. So we have, Mercury and the sun. Now the sun represents the focal point, like I'm going to say, like the God, the deity God, like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, is there represented by the central focal point, which is God, Elohim. But we also have Mercury, which is your messenger. So you have, Aries has, Jupiter is in Aries. But if you look at something interesting, trying to show here and not get a lot of, here we go back to Jupiter is in Aries. Then we move over, right there is Venus and the sun in Pisces. There's our sun, good morning. Here we go, now we have 3 planets coming up. You have, but they're in, see if I can get this to come up, the constellation of Aquarius. And look how it's pouring on. You have Venus, you have Saturn, and there is Mars. But notice Mars is right in the center of of Aquarius, and Aquarius is pouring down. Aquarius is pouring on the sun, but Mars represents war. So it's interesting. You have war inside of the of the constellation that is about outpouring, and it's pouring right directly onto Jupiter, which represents the sun. I mean, not the sun, S-O-N. And next to it is Venus. Well, Venus was the bride of Jupiter. So what's going on here? What's going on in the heavens that we can see? And what gets me most on this, and I was talking to my son about it, is they're all on the other side of the sun. I don't know where. I couldn't find on here. I couldn't find Uranus. I couldn't find Neptune, which is the 2 farthest away. We gave away Pluto. But the 2 farthest, I couldn't find. But the ones closest are all on the other side of the sun from us. Now, we do know that we're all affected by gravitational force. The planets kind of keep the planets in line, by gravitational. But they're all on one side, and we're on the other side. Now, I mean, does that happen every year like that? Maybe it does. Maybe this is like I said. But is it something for us to look at? And again, for many of my Christian friends, I am not talking astrology. I have to be very clear. God wanted us to look our Christian descendant, our Christian, not descendants, but what's the other word? Ancestors. Our Christian ancestors are the ones who did see the stars every night. We've got all these lights in the way. They used to sit up and look at look at these things and look at the stars and look at the things like that. We have all these lights, and we have our fake lights at night, and we don't even look down. We look into these things. But God has those things in the heavens for us to see. So that's my thing is this morning for you to look at is, what does this mean? When we're looking at all of these things and seeing that, I was trying to look up Aries. What does Aries represent? And it's, of course, spring, new beginning. But remember also, Aries was the ram. If you remember back when the story of Abraham, how the ram was a substitutionary animal also. So you have that coming into play. There's so much here that fits within the Bible. It's amazing that the astronomy fits very well with many of the things that are in the Bible already. You have rams, you have goats. I mean, you have the bull. Jesus was known as the servant. You have the bull. You have Virgo. You have the lion. You have Scorpio, which is like the hitting on the heel. That's representative of, it said that Jesus would, that when the Messiah comes, he will have his heel bruised, but he will crush the head. Well, that's what you do with a scorpion, what you do with a snake also. But with a scorpion, you crush its head, but you'll probably get hit in the heel. That kind of thing. So again, looking at Chuck Missler's Mazareth and some of the other teachers on that, fine. But what's going on right now And here we are, like I said, a week away, something, nothing. I'll let you decide. I just thought this was very interesting. Thank you. I found some things I wanted to add to the video real quick. I went to theskylive.com. It tells you where the planets are in the sky. And again, that they're all clustered on the other side. I even found Uranus and Neptune. Uranus is behind Jupiter, so it couldn't readily be seen. And Neptune is between Venus and the Sun on the other side. So all the planets are on the other side. I thought that's real interesting. I mean, you would think that it would be spread all around us, but here they are on the other side. This is just a good resource. But I wanted to go back. I missed one thing in the sky I wanted to point out. I'm facing west inside my house, and there's the moon. And again, all the others are behind me in the east. You'll notice the apogee there of the moon as it's going around us. Okay, fine and good. But notice where it's at. It's in the Virgin. It's in Virgo, and it's right near the branch, in the hand of Virgo. And again, a virgin will conceive. This is not the Mary of Catholicism. This is the Mary of Matthew and Luke. And so this is in the idea of the branch in the hand of the Virgin, from the Virgin. So we see this, and there's the moon right near the branch, and will it be going through the Virgo as it goes around the earth for the next few days? Not trying to tie things really to what's coming with when you have so many things coming up to keep an eye on. You have the April 6th. You also have the real Passover. The Jewish Passover is coming on the 25th of April. It's a month away from Easter this year. And you also have a push to go and sacrifice the red heifer. If you don't know what that means, you need to look that up. A lot of interesting things happening, but I just wanted to say, do these astronomical things mean anything? Take a look and see. God gave us the signs in the sky to show what he's doing, and are these related? Just thought I'd put it out there. Thank you.